Media.
Hey there, Ronnie here. Real quick before we get into the main episode, I just want to let you know that early bird registration for the Redefined Network Marketing event happening May 4, 5, and 6 is now open. That's right. You can register at ronniecruz.com/redefine. I'm going to be teaching you everything that I've learned about online marketing in the last year and a half so that you can take your business online, on social media, and build massive success into this next decade and beyond. Again, you can go to ronniecruz.com/redefine. You're going to get an early bird pricing. Don't wait because this early bird registration is going to expire. Make sure you register today. Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers, and my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the Redefine Podcast. All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about hitting rock bottom and whether or not it's necessary to make changes in your life. Now, I think we all can agree that the answer is absolutely not. You do not need to hit rock bottom in order to make changes in your life. I did want to talk about this, however, because I saw a video clip earlier today on Instagram from Gabby Bernstein, and she was talking about her past drug addiction and her problems with substance abuse, and her hitting a point in her life where she had hit absolute rock bottom. And the decision to make changes from then on was actually relatively easy because what other choice did she have, right? She had hit rock bottom. It was either stay in that situation and stay in that lifestyle and die, or make changes and go on to do what she's done since. She also said that she believes people who have never hit rock bottom actually have a harder time making changes in their life. And I'll absolutely agree with that, right? I think that's absolutely spot on. And it really ties into our conversation that we've been having the last couple of days about risk and reward, right? Remember, there's a part of our brain that doesn't like change at all because it wants us to stay alive, right? It's there. The mechanism is there for our survival. And so change means risk. Risk means potential death. So that part of our brain doesn't want us to change at all, especially if we're in a relative position of comfort and stability. Not only will you think you have no reason to change or make changes, but that unconscious part of your brain, that mechanism, is definitely going to tell you, yeah, don't change. We got it good right now. Whereas with Gabby, I think it's a question of whether or not the discomfort of change, how is that relative to your specific situation, right? With somebody who is in stability and comfort, yeah, well, the discomfort of change is not something that they're going to want to face. Whereas Gabby Bernstein, her relative position of hitting rock bottom and that potentially leading to death, of course, the survival mechanism in the brain is going to be like, hey, it's time to change. The change is not a big deal because if you don't change, you're going to die, right? So it's really relative to your situation, how much risk you're willing to take and whether or not you're willing to face the discomfort of change. I want you to know, if you are in that position of safety and security and comfort, that you should really continually work on growing and evolving and changing, because you may not think things are changing and you may think that things are stable, but the world is ever changing, right? The world is ever evolving. Time is ever moving forward, at least how we experience time. And so if we're not keeping up with that change, if we're not keeping up with that ever changing and ever evolving world, then we're going to get left behind. And that is actually more risky than anything else. It happens very slowly, very subtly, but it does eventually catch up to you. So, even if you think you got it good and you're okay, work on continually growing yourself and expanding your capabilities, expanding your perspective, and evolving and growing, right? So that you don't get left behind. Now, for those of you who are hitting some challenges and maybe, in that rock bottom or close to rock bottom situation, I do want to give you some words of caution as you move forward to make changes. Again, you should make changes because if you're hitting rock bottom, there's no other way to go. When you decide what path to choose and what things to pursue from rock bottom, I want you to really, really be careful when you make these decisions, because in a rock bottom situation, you're going to be in a heightened state of emotion. And those emotions are generally going to be negative, right? They're going to be emotions of lack, emotions of fear, emotions of desperation. And if you're deciding which course you're going to take, which path you're going to take, based on those emotions, then these things that these avenues that you're going to be pursuing, generally in the long term, you will be less inclined to follow through with those things, because again, they're driven by fear, and they're driven by lack, and they're driven by desperation, right? As opposed to, pursuits that are driven by inspiration and excitement and motivation, right? Things that you're really excited about making changes in your life with, right? So just really be careful of that, because again, you're going to be more apt to follow through on things and on paths that you're excited about, that you're inspired by, and that will move you every day, as opposed to things that you're just choosing because you're in a state of fear, right? That's a great way of losing steam and momentum in that direction of change, and then falling back into old habits, right? So just really, really think about that. Really, keep that in mind as you're, coming out of this state of rock bottom. Really find something that you can get behind, really find something that you can find the changes that you can get passionate about and that inspire you to make those changes in the first place. And you'll really want to, you'll really be more apt to see those things through and to follow through and fulfilling those things, as opposed to just choosing the things that you think will get you immediately out of that rock bottom situation, right? Just my perspective. I mean, hopefully you're not in a rock bottom situation. Definitely don't wait until you're in a rock bottom position and situation to start making changes. Be proactive, stay ahead of that, stay ahead of everything as much as possible. Always be growing, and you'll never have to have a conversation about hitting rock bottom, okay? But if you do, just be careful and be mindful of the state of mind and the state of emotion that you're making decisions on and choosing the paths that you're going to be moving forward with, okay? All right, well, that's my message for today. Thanks for tuning in. More from me tomorrow. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.